Y'all can't really say I'm not your real homie anymore, my ninjas, because I took the hit. I'm not sponsored by Ableton because they think I'm a little too edgy. I have used Ableton Live 12, but I'm not an intern. So during the beta, I didn't really use the new features. I was just using Ableton like I usually do with a bunch of third-party plugins. But there's a lot of new features in the MIDI section, which I feel seem a little useful if you don't know what to do or if you just want to mess around and about. The first one's it's at the bottom here, which I've actually found quite useful. The first one is the randomize. So usually with closed hats and open hats minus kick, if you're making dance, you don't want to you want to add velocity changes to humanize it. So usually I'd go in and go like close hat, I'd pull down a bit on it, then I'd go to this one, pull down a bit, feel the beat out, you know. As the bass and the vocal come into play, then we can start to feel other things out. But now from here, Mark Knight does this a lot where he'll have the first open hat hit really soft and then the second one hits harder. This is humanizing. Now in Ableton, we do have this ramp feature now at the bottom here, which if you can see, we're going to use it later. It can be really useful for creating drum fills because you can go from quiet to loud with the velocity. Just remember, velocity is how hard the note's being hit. So you can have it hit like a pussy, or you can have it hit like a alpha. All right, anyways, we're going to move this down just a little bit, just to have that ramp going. So we can add this nice flan, which is essentially like a... You can also control the velocity. Oh, and here are the grace notes. So when you have your date over on the piano and you just want to, you want to tap it pretty much. Whoever it is, little grace notes. I wonder what I'll do if we do it here. But look, these are the grace notes. Look at that. It looks like Space 92. That's not bad, eh? That's not bad. So we're going to leave that. I do need that to be like the velocities change. But like I said, Ableton implements a lot of velocity stuff. But sometimes I'm a man that knows what he wants. So I don't really like using a lot of like these randomization and all this. Like I like to know what I want. Just a little. Now another cool thing that I like as I'm doing this is you can see here there's an envelope section and MPE. Now I don't really care about MPE because I'm not trying to be like emotional. I'm trying to bang. The envelopes is dope because usually before we would have to go to the bottom left and then go through menu diving. I'm a guy that likes everything in front, ready to go. I think this envelope here is super sick. I appreciate you, Ableton. Is it worth $300? That's up to you to decide. So we got our basic white pattern here. So we're just gonna make a bass now. So a new synth that we have seen in Ableton's arsenal. There's two things I wanted to check out. The first one is called Meld, and it's their new synth. What makes it Meld? You know, like why do I want to use this over anything else? Like what's the identity of Meld? What's the sound of Meld? So as I open it up, it looks like we have basic shapes. And then we look dual basic shapes, noisy shapes, square sync, square fifth, sub, swarm sine, swarm triangle, swarm saw. I don't think the CDC is going to be happy about those names, but harmonic FM, fold FM. Try a bass, simple FM. From there we have the amount, which is going to be, I'm assuming controlling that, and then the ratio, which would be the FM ratio for that, aka it just means that it's going to sound more higher up in frequency due to harmonics. Let's put a filter on that. Use the envelope, which is here. There's a modulation envelope, which always think intern, free, work. You can use it to route it to stuff and have it move for you. For free. Well, we paid $300 for that. So let's route it to the filter cutoff. It's the same formula as the other ones. Now, one of the features of Ableton that makes it somewhat like, whoa, is that it can now generate stuff for you. It has MIDI generative capabilities, which just means that it can make patterns, rhythms for you. Again, I don't know how to use this. It just appeared. I'm here with you guys for the first time. So there's different patterns to pick. So we're just going to hit play and hear what it comes with. We want more notes. Okay, let's assume we find something that we like. I'm going to use this to just generate ideas. I usually tell people, like, use this stuff kind of like grain of salt. There's a lot of people out there, and you can hear it in their music, that relies too much on this kind of stuff, and then it just sounds like they wonder, why does no one hear my music? Because it sounds like a damn robot made it, okay? And you didn't add your own flair to it. So there's this new plugin that they have called Roar, which is like a distortion unit. Now this is my with Ableton, okay, is that a lot of these plugins, if you invest in third-party plugins, then why would you want Roar? Like, you know, you have Rift, you have Saturn, it can all do the same thing. It can. So why go with this over the others, right? It's just more like, if you're starting out, then it makes sense. You don't need Saturn or Decapitator no more. But if you already have it, then it's kind of like, But point being, we can change this. We can make the bass fatter. I usually like to keep things simple. However, let's say that you want to preserve the low, and we can go mid-side saturation, a distortion. We could do multi-band where you have low, mid, and high. So, for instance, a lot of people like to do this with Saturn. Holy I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? Okay, so the workflow is a little better because you can see everything, but it's a little overwhelming. Ooh, hit that low end to fatten it up. Oh, and then we have different like modes to hit, like oh my god, okay. Okay, daddy like. Okay, let's add a sidechain in this. Let's get the lows filtered. We'll call this the pre. For the mids, we usually want to use like a high pass just to do it. But I don't know if it introduces phase. Again, that's for you guys to kind of debate forever. They also have this new like organizational tool, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I rarely use stuff like that. Like I usually am the messy guy, ADD. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just human, to be honest. But it's very hard for me to hear that kind of use that kind of stuff. So we'll leave it at that. Stacks, and this is where we would find the progression. So for instance, here we can have an inversion added, or we can go through the chords that it has. What the fuck? All right, hold on, we gotta be higher up. Let's go here. Oh, and now we have to tell this what key it's in, actually. So we are in F minor, so let's do that. So we're gonna be in F2, and then I believe we can go that, but I do want a couple of inversions there, like make it sound a little cleaner. Can we open voice it is also the other question. We can change the duration. We can offset it to the side if you try and be like a hipster. Okay, we have the basic one, which my ears like more. I wasn't trained or anything, so. Oh yeah, that one was tasteful. Like that actually made me feel a little like, okay, there's some hope here. Because usually I hate using stuff like this, but let's see where we go with this. B. All right, let's switch the bass to a different FM. I really don't, I hate the ratio on that. It's hard to get, like, maybe I just have to put 2 or 24 or something, but go figure, man. Do they have a string I can use? Evangelical strings? Hell yeah, bro. Jesus, this is the way. All right. On this too, like there's like an ARP thing here, a strum, so you can make the pianos actually strum out. So I find a lot of the values here, to be honest, in these like MIDI things. Like I tried seeing everything. Like, does Ableton have acid? Like an acid? Like I rarely use Ableton presets, but since we're gonna do this, we might as well go with it. Oh, they do. So we got the chords. Is there anything I can use here? Like I know the arpeggiator makes sense, right? Because we do that. Okay, so that's your arpeggiator. Now let's hit that thing one more time, the grand piano, and like let's make a melody actually. But how do I do that? See, I'm a noob right now. There's ornament. Okay, we don't want to do that. There's quantize. We don't want to quantize. Recombine. This is still. Oh no, we don't need that. No. Let's go back now. We're no hipster here. We just like good music. All right, hold up. We got a strum. So time warp. No, we're okay. So I think we're gonna have to go to the next one, which is where stack, seed, rhythm. So maybe the shape would help us out here. Oh my God, what is that? Maybe I'm missing something, but let's try the seed. I want something simple, so I'm gonna put it between. Oh my Lord! I'm gonna put it. Is that James Brown, dude? Oh, back from the dead. All right, hold up. We're gonna go C. Okay, I want to be between F, actually, my bad. Probably want to go up higher too. That's too low, bruh. We all know the girls, they like them high notes. Hold up, F, there we go. Hit hard. Duration maybe like longer. We don't really want that jumbled mess. There's creative ways to use that for sure. Like if you had like a drum rack or like a bunch of percussion, but there's parts I like from it. So I think like again, when you use stuff like this, do not be the guy that leaves everything, goes no, like take away, subtract. So I like certain notes here. So we're gonna remove this. Let's just use roar to make this more interesting. There's some presets. Let's use those. Let's embrace it. Yes! Length 8. Put your money on the backseat. Don't give a hell paparazzi. Okay, so there's other things too, like a mixer that pops up, but I don't know how to bring that up. Oh, there it is. I can make your dreams come true. But let me get this straight. Don't ever need no man to tell me what to do. What to do? Let's bring it in. All right, let's do this right. Okay, so obviously, as you guys saw, there is a mixer here, but again, it all goes back to like everything they added definitely improves Ableton. I'm not gonna lie. There's things like this where it looks like they chopped off. I mean, I thought I was vain as stuff, but they chopped off half of like the damn mixer, dude, and it looks like Logic now. So MIDI transformation and MIDI generators, there's a lot of MIDI stuff here, but this is everything that we've been using right now, and that's where a lot of like the $300 is going towards. There's expanded probability, which I don't really use, and I'm the wrong YouTuber to watch when it comes to that stuff, because again, I teach people how to make music that people want to listen to. From there, keys and scales. Okay, cool. So that is actually the thing we were using. Up here, we have to set that in order to use all the MIDI features, etc. So I actually find this as really cool feature, especially when you're looking at generating stuff as you saw. But what I ask, if you guys watch me religiously and you watch me for more than just this video, please do not fall into the trap of just randomizing everything. From there, we use Meld, which, okay, here we go. A bitimbral MPE capable instrument designed for deep sound shaping that lets you create a wide array of textural and experimental tones with its too easy to macro. I would personally use that thing to make like solids and FM and stuff, as you guys saw, but I'm pretty sure there's more to it. Now the MPE is, again, if you're looking at getting experimental, pretty much there's a key you hit and you can wiggle the finger, similar to when you're trying to clean all the way, and you just wiggle that thing and it adds the feeling. It records the essentially the MIDI info for that. We saw Roar, which I think it actually sounds pretty good, and there's more to it. I just barely touched the surface. This is my first time using it. And like I said, it looks very complicated, very I like the fact that everything's there. So if you learn it, it has a very fast workflow. So that's actually a pretty decent saturator. From there, Granulator 3. Oh my God. Now Granulator or granular synthesis is actually one of the things where it's easy and hard to use at the same time. It just depends what you really feed into it. But the way I like to explain it to people is you're like Dr. Strange automating time. This is like an over-glorified sampler in a sense. That's how most people use it. For example, right now here we have the grain size, which is going to be how big are the grains that we are allowed to modulate the timing of. So if I play this here, that grain size, we're only going to scour that area. So we're going to play. So it just keeps looping, right? But once I start to implement variation or scan, it starts to jump all over the place. So how is this useful though? Well, granulation by itself is very odd, but as a sound designer, usually what I will use it for is to generate those weird textures that then I can use echo, I can use delay in order to create an atmosphere. So instead of just hitting the vocal itself or like looping the vocal, I like you get randomization of again that sample where it's playing at before, after, again, Dr. Strange time, and then we see, here's Granulator 2, right? And there's is a second section where we can FM, and this used to be fucking insane. So I'm kind of sad they took that off. Again, if you guys find it, let me know. But Granulator 3 doesn't seem like it has it. I haven't checked out the new packs, but again, usually these packs for me are not like, they shouldn't count as part of like the $300, $200 I spent for the upgrade. Drum rack swapping. Swap all samples in your drum rack for similar ones to quickly try out new percussive textures like a drum machine with seemingly infinite kits. Now in drum rack, I can hit the similarity button, and then I can hit next. To get suggestions for new drums, so Ableton is actually looking at every sample and trying to find similar ones. Now from there, if I like one of the ones it's presented, like for instance, none of them hit the mark here, but here, look at that. I can hit lock on that so it doesn't change, and I can keep going through drums. Oh, nice kick. Let's do that. And I can keep doing that until I find drums. So this is actually a really dope feature. Choose and new themes, which I think I have one, which it's a new one with the pink, and I actually like it more than my old one. People used to dodge me like, why are you in gray sand? Like you're dark. I am dark. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's cool. And again, in my position, it's a no-brainer to get it. However, if you're a producer and you don't find yourself using that kind of stuff and you just want to make beats, or a tech house producer just dropping loops and ideas, presets from Serum, and you have your third-party plugins, and it's not worth it. I would say don't get it. You can get it later when it goes on sale, or if you ever feel the need that you have to collaborate with someone that has it, then get it then when you're forced to get it. However, I don't think it's needed at all. It doesn't really offer any competitive advantage over the competition. Maybe the rhythm section might help you generate drum lines. Again, it really depends on you. You saw how it is. You saw everything that we can do with it. You saw me make this cool little banger with it. So now it's up to you. It's in your hands. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider supporting my sound design work over at evilsounds.com, used by big producers like James Hype, Mal P, David Guetta, Lost Frequencies. Again, these are guys at the top of the game. Space 92, dude. Like, come on. If you guys want to continue your knowledge forward, I did make this video about ditching the white noise. It's super important because white noise is usually something used by producers where they don't know how to fill in the gaps and they say, oh, it fills it up. Sometimes it's worth it if you're making EDM, but if you're not, then it's worth a watch to see what you can replace it with.